Most advisors think they're running a business, but what they've actually built is a high-paying job, and a fragile one at that. Here's the truth. You're not going to reach the top of this industry by doing more of what you've been doing now. Not from the seat you're in, not from the system you've been surrounded by, because that system wasn't designed to develop business maturity. It was built to produce quickly, consistently, predictably, but not sustainably. And most advisors, they never question it, because they don't know how far off the real bar actually is. And let's make it plain. There are over 300,000 financial advisors in the U.S., but the number who ever reached the top 1% of performance, structure, and longevity, it's a fraction, a sliver, and most don't even know what separates them. And that's what this video is about. Not status, not ego. And when I talk about elite, I'm not talking about titles and trophies. I'm talking about how you operate, how you think, how you lead yourself and your business day in, day out, with discipline, clarity, and control. This isn't about just being better than someone else. It's about building something better than when you are right now. And this video is the blueprint. It's not for everyone. Just for the few who are actually ready to see the difference. I was a top performing wealth advisor, leader, and executive for the wealth management industry for 23 consecutive years, building and running multi-billion-dollar businesses. Few ever get inside access to what it actually takes to reach the top levels in this business. I launched EliteVate to change that. This is my mission. So what are you going to learn from this conversation? 1, what the real obstacles are that are keeping you from reaching elite levels. 2, how to spot the system traps and the self-sabotage patterns that are holding you back. 3, what are the traits that you need to reach the highest levels in this business? And finally, 4, the mindset shift that you need to do to take control of what's next. So what's the problem? Let's start with what most advisors already know, even if they don't want to say it out loud. The systems around you, it's not designed to build real advisors. It's designed to build producers. Everything is focused on short-term productivity. Hit your numbers, push the campaign, keep the motion going. And the support you get, it's mostly tactical. You get scripts, slide decks, surface level coaching. No one's teaching you business design. No one's walking you through how to think, how to position, how to lead your own practice with real clarity. They'll train you how to close, but they won't teach you how to build. And the industry, it rewards it because it looks like success. You get recognized for being active, not strategic. You get praised for numbers, not structure. And if you're even a little bit ahead of the pack, it's easy to start believing you're on the right path. But there's the problem. You're surrounded by the same thinking all the time. Everyone around you is running the same place. They're managing their calendars, not their business models. They're focused on the next client, not their next evolution. They're producing, but they're not growing. And it's not just the advisors around you, it's the leaders too. Some of them never built anything scalable. Some are managing up. Some are still carrying legacy mindsets that haven't been challenged in over a decade. And most, they're too stretched to coach you the way you actually need. What about the culture around you? It becomes your ceiling. A self-reinforcing loop of praise, activity, and stalled development. And you see it, you feel it, that quiet discomfort that says, this isn't sustainable, something's off. But here's where it flips, because while the system failed to build you, you let it. You accepted the structure. You leaned on the praise. You told yourself you were different, but you never actually broke the pattern. You waited for someone to show you a new way. You kept doing what worked last year, even though you knew it wasn't enough for the next one. And I've seen this play out more times than I can count. Advised with talent, capped by comfort, surrounded by noise, validated by being average, and never once forced to look at what they weren't doing. So let's be clear, the industry isn't going to elevate you. Your peers aren't going to challenge you, and your success so far doesn't guarantee anything about what's coming next. And if you want something different, you have to build it. And that starts with ownership, not of your results, but of your gaps. And yes, the promotions might still come, but that's not the goal. The goal is operating at a level where the next opportunity is already behind you because you moved past it. And I understand it. I didn't walk into the industry at an elite level. I didn't have all the traits, I didn't have the systems, and I definitely didn't understand how to build something that would last. But what I did have was the mindset to build. Nothing was inherited, no shortcuts, I just built it. And early on, I was good at a few things, but I had gaps, just like everyone else. But what was the difference? I didn't wait to be told what they were. Every year, I committed to identify where I was still small, what I didn't know, what I haven't mastered, what I was avoiding. And then I structured my development around it intentionally. And it wasn't just about more volume, not just another campaign, actual elevation. And it wasn't dramatic, it was disciplined. Each year, I picked the 1 or 2 things that would move the needle, and I went deep. That's how I built the model, That's how I started to separate myself. And when I moved into leadership, I brought the same mindset with me. I had a new seat, new requirements, and I wasn't about to lean on old skills and hope they translated. So I rebuilt, again, the same process, same mindset, but different altitude. I applied that across every level I operated in, either as an advisor, a leader, or an executive. And that's how I sustained 23 consecutive years at the top. Not because I was untouchable, but because I refused to coast. And to stay elite, over the years, I had to re-earn it every year. And that discipline, that internal standard, is what most advisors never develop. Because instead of building, they get distracted. Because the industry is loud. And if you're not clear on what you're building, you get pulled into every direction. You follow marketing coaches promoting 30 leads in 30 days. You download templates, attend webinars, copy someone else's script, and call it a strategy. You start believing that visibility equals value and that activity equals growth. But it doesn't. Most of what's being sold to advisors today is designed to keep you dependent. Just sharp enough to stay busy. Just praised enough to keep producing, but never developed deeply enough to grow past the system. And if you're surrounded by peers who are okay with that, it gets harder to say. The conversations feel safe, the feedback sounds familiar, and the bar, it stays low, and you don't even notice it. And that's the trap. Over the years, I've told a lot of the people I developed the same thing. You may not fully understand or see what I'm building in you right now, but stay with it. Because one day, you will. You will start to see how others think. You'll see how they avoid pressure, how they settle when it's time to stretch, and how they carry confidence that isn't backed by real capability. And that's the moment of separation. You realize you've moved past that level, not because you said so, because you can see it clearly now and feel no pull to go back. And that's when the elite mindset takes hold, quietly, permanently. And everything you build from the point forward carries a different weight, not with ego, but with awareness. That's where that elite mindset takes hold. When you can't unsee the difference and you're no longer willing to operate below it. But getting there isn't just about effort. It's about navigating through the noise. And why does this matter? Because once you see the difference, once you realize how few actually make it to the next level, you can't go back. You either elevate or you accept the ceiling. So what does it actually take to get to that level? Let me level with you. Most advisors will never hear this. Not from their firm, not from their colleagues, and not even from the people they think are ahead of them. But if you want to know what it takes to reach the highest levels and stay there, then someone has to say it. So I will. I didn't get here by following playbooks written by people that never built anything. And I'm not saying this to inspire you. I'm saying it because most of what you've been told is incomplete. You're probably already good at your job. You're likely outperforming the people around you. But let's be honest, that bar is not high. It's not elite. It's just comfortable. And comfortable doesn't get you there. So what you're about to hear isn't a framework I borrowed. It's the one I built. These are the traits I used to lead, perform, and stay at the top of the wealth industry again for 23 consecutive years. And it's also the framework I developed advisors with who could win in any seat. And now I'm sharing that lens with you, not to inspire you, but to give you more clarity. So if you ever wondered what separates the consistently elite from everyone else, this is it. And let's break it down. What's your mindset and ownership? Do you lead yourself or wait to be led? This is the foundation. If you're still showing up like an employee, needing direction, blaming outside forces, or waiting for perfect conditions, you've already disqualified yourself for the next level. When you're elite, you don't wait to be told. You build structure before it's needed and take ownership no matter the outcome. Then there's strategic thinking and business discipline. Do you actually understand the business you're building? Can you visualize the levers and adjust them with purpose? This trait separates the tactical advisor from the strategic operator. You're not just reacting, you're engineering. And you're not just out chasing growth, you're building it through alignment, intentionality, and long-term thinking. Then you have your technical and business maturity. Are you seen as someone who brings depth or just delivers the basics? This isn't about product knowledge or certifications. It's about how you think, how you apply, and how you operate across the verticals. Real maturity shows up when you can connect the dots, understand multiple segments, and step into strategic conversations with credibility. Advisors that stay service level, well, they get replaced. And how about your client strategy segmentation? Do you attract the right clients or take whoever shows up? Elite advisors don't try to be everything for everyone. They're intentional about who they serve and just as intentional about who they don't, because this takes structure and boundaries and clarity. Most skip all three. What about your positioning, your presence? When you walk into a room, are you the driver or the passenger? This isn't about ego. It's about control, leadership, and how you're perceived. Your presence either elevates the conversation or disappears into it. Advisors who can't position themselves get positioned by the client. And what about your self-awareness and your reputation? Do you actually know how others see you? And this one stings because most advisors think they're performing higher than they actually are. But your reputation is the scoreboard. And if you're not tracking perception from partners, clients, and peers, you're flying blind. Self-awareness separates confident advisors from delusional ones. Communication influence. Do people lean or tune out when you speak? Communication isn't just clarity. It's tone, timing, credibility, and the ability to influence outcomes without needing authority. If you want to lead inside the room, you better know how to command it. And how's your collaboration and partnerships? Do you know how to leverage your full ecosystem? You can't scale as a lone wolf. The best advisors understand to partner across channels, internally and externally. And this isn't about being liked. It's about being trusted, aligned, and indispensable. And what about your adaptability and resilience? Can you evolve when the game changes? The market will shift. The firm will restructure. Your best client might walk. Your team might even turn over. The question is, do you anchor to the past or adapt and advance? The elite evolve because comfort isn't the goal. Staying elite is. By now, you've gotten more valuable mentoring advice from me in this one video than you've likely ever received from your manager over the past few years of performance reviews. You've been handed a clearer lens, not just to measure performance, but to decode it. You have the language to pinpoint exactly where things aren't clicking and why you've been hitting ceilings even when the numbers look good. You know what to look for, you know what to work on, and you know what actually is holding you back. This is your lens now. Use it to get clear, use it to get honest, and most importantly, use it to take control, because nobody owns your development but you. Not your firm, not your manager, not your peers who hope you never outgrow them. So you've gotten everything you need to stop waiting and start getting to the levels you always dreamed you would reach. One with clear vision and the ability to operate the highest levels in any seat under any conditions. You don't need approval, you need action. And now you've gotten the blueprint. Your next level won't just get handed to you. It gets built by you. Now go do it. Every week I'll dive deeper to the critical moves that help leaders and advisors break through plateaus and lead to the levels they built for. We cut through the fluff, no hype, no theory, just strategy, psychology, and execution. If this message hits home, make sure you're following along. You're in the right place, whether you're leading teams, running a book, or scaling a firm. This is EliteVate. Let's cut through the noise and build something that actually lasts.